Davin, here we are.
Hi, Davin.
I'm gonna attempt to explain this, okay? And so I'm gonna try to attempt to model it too. Okay, so if we look at the picture, and I know I'm gonna reference this video for you, Davin, okay? But you'll see that here we have two tabs. One tab here, and then there's a third tab at the top, okay? Right here. If we look over at the dash here, we can see that there was a tab here that's at a 90 degree, and then two tabs here. Now the reason I chopped all this off, because I needed to adapt it to your base plate, and I'll show you some pictures that I'd taken too of it on the bike. So basically I made two holes here for grommets, and they're rubber grommets. They're called well nuts, I guess, over here. I don't know what you would call them in Australia, but they're basically screws that go into nuts that are encased in rubber, and they put pressure on the backside. So I drilled those holes in here. Also, I put a third nut in here that's affixed with an epoxy. And this was a fourth mounting point that goes to the metal fairing stay. So I'm going to have to try to model all four of those mounts, sorry. So just for reference, and again, back to the picture here, the video, we have two plastic tabs with rubber grommets that go here, and a females on the gauge, male mounts here, but on the top we had a male mount that goes into the female rubber grommet here, and these are not at the same height, they are at different heights. So I'm going to have to try to figure out how to model these two here without the original reference point, because I chopped all this off to make it fit. Then you're going to need a space here for the original harness to go through. So the back plate that you're going to do is you're probably going to want to eliminate this, but I don't know how you're going to have to come up with some hardware to replicate these two posts and space it differently. It's not going to be a flat bracket that you're going to be able to do it. And it's like you can see here in this video, the plastic is recessed, so that's recessed further, and then here it's recessed the other way, so it's protruding. So you're gonna have to try. You're not gonna be able to just stamp or laser cut a flat bracket to go to the back of this, which is why I decided to do the chop and cut on the original dash to make it fit the base plate your factory base plate. If your base plate had been shaped a little different, it would have been easier, but there's still going to be a DIY component to this. Unless you can think of something that I can't. I'll see what I can do about modeling it. It's just going to be difficult, and I'm going to need a few days to do it. So, yeah, I figured this was much easier to explain this in a video than it was to send you just pictures and try to do a written description of what we're talking about. So I'll send you an email with the links to this video, links to that video, so you get a better kind of idea in your head of what we're dealing with as far as making a dash mount. Yeah, it's not gonna be easy, but I'm gonna try to do my best, okay? And I'll try to get this out to you as quickly as I can. But I do start my work week tomorrow, so my time will be limited. But I'll see what I can do to get this out so that you can get something to your customer. All right?
Just duct tape it. Duct tape. Cut it off. Duct tape it.
Duct tape. All right.
Functional.
Okay. For Colin and Jeff, we'll try to get this out to you, Davin. Okay? Awesome. Thanks. All right. Sorry, Davin. I had to add something. So to complicate this thing even more, here there was another male post that goes into the steel subframe. I'm grabbing the steel subframe.
Yeah, that way.
That way, yeah. So it goes through that grommet right there. So this broke off initially, so we didn't. I just used some epoxy to close that off. But if you look here, let's see if I can get the lighting right. If that post was there, okay, it's not simply a matter of drilling a hole that can go through. You'll have to drill holes for all of these posts unless the customer wants to shave those off, and because they sit proud of the base here. So in order for this to sink down, I'll flip it over. In order for it to sink down onto a flat surface, you want to hold this?
Yeah, sure.
It's hard to illustrate this. But basically, see what I mean? So you're going to have holes in your base plate for all of these to accommodate in order for this to sit flat on the base plate that you create. So, and then your base plate's going to have to come up and curve around here to make this one. Like Suzuki couldn't have made this any more difficult to make a base plate for. Okay, we're just back. I'm just getting started on this, and I want to show you what we're doing, Davin. Okay, so basically, I've got a pattern of the back of the dash, and even though we've got these tabs are missing, I've got measurements from the plastic on where they go. So slowly here, I'm going to create a map of all of the back of it and where the holes need to be drilled, and then, or so on your base plate, and then once I turn this into a 3D drawing and extrude it out, we should have a good measurement of where this is the cutoff tab here, this is the cutoff tab here, and up top, this is where we cut the tab off here. So I know it's at a 90 degree, so I'll try to get those measurements for you, and that way you'll be able to wrap your plate around that, laser cut these holes, and then you'll probably have to use some sort of spacer to space the differences between these. Everything will be referenced off the base. So these extrusions that come up, they'll come off the base. These will come off the base. This will all come off the base, and then the tabs will be referenced down into the 3D model from the base. So from the base plate. Okay, hopefully that makes sense to you, and we'll get this off just as soon as we can.